Hello and welcome to day 29 of our 30 days of brain health tips. I'm Dr. Tatiana. I'm a board certified chiropractic neurologist, and today we are going to be talking about the importance for our brain to do socialization. Now, we are social creatures. Our livelihood, our survival is actually very deeply rooted into our abilities to be with others, to get along with others. If you think about back in the day when we're just looking at animals and herds and how they rely on each other for survival and for food and shelter and safety, we very much still on a very primitive level operate to some degree like that. And also we are just hardwired to create those connections. Now, we spoke about connections earlier and being able to make connections with others, but the ability to be social is similar but slightly different. So it's really important for our brains to involve ourselves almost as if it is sort of like an exercise, so to speak, but we usually consider it a pleasurable, enjoyable activity to do, but to be social, to take a moment and have an interest in what's going on in someone else's world, to give them eye contact, to listen and be present with them, not just in front of them, present in terms of like, being there, but your mind is elsewhere. So no, like actually being present, that in itself is important for our own brain's ability to be able to become very focused on what the other person is saying, looking at them with their eye contact, of course, but also observing facial expressions and just some gestures they might be making with their body language. These are important because we have a lot of pathways in our brain that are wired to pick up on this information. And that's important to us. So for our own brain's vitality, we want to make sure that we are able to acknowledge the different type of facial expressions or gestures and or emotions that are then connected to those facial expressions and gestures, to make sure that we can sense those, understand those, be able to identify them at least, and also to be able to just be in each other's company. The ability for yourself to be able to share what's going on in your world, be with friends. Some people may just be acquaintances, others might be deeper friends. So of course the level of conversation could be different and the nature of the conversation is different based on who you're with. But again, just being with other human beings and what it entails to be social with each other. We certainly have certain etiquettes that we do in our society where we say hello and goodbye, and hopefully we open the door for others if they're going in and out of a store or something like of this nature. So we have these kind of social polite habits, but the ability to just literally be there for another person, to be present and to observe, express, to witness their facial expressions, is just a really important part of our brain's vitality, and we want to be able to continue to be able to do that comfortably and easily. So your brain health tip for today is to realize that we are social creatures. Some people might like to be more social than others. I'm sure you know some people, maybe yourself, who's a social butterfly and chats with every single person in the room, becomes best friends with everybody within minutes. There's some people like that, and other people are just a little more reserved and a little bit more maybe introverted, and that's fine too. I want you to work within what's comfortable for you, of course. We have different personalities and different personality styles and comfort levels, and some days we might feel like being more social, other days we need a little more self-care and time for ourselves. So it's all good. But to know that, and part of our brain health is to be social and to make those attempts to be social. So if you're finding yourself that you're just starting to feel more recluse and you don't want to be social, and not just because you need some alone time or you've just been around people too much and you need to just kind of have some time to yourself, that's one thing. But you're starting to feel like maybe you're shying away from being social too much. And I understand sometimes if people have had, let's say, some brain injuries, being in like a crowded mall or going to a concert or something might just be a little too much. So sometimes socialization can just be getting together with a friend over a cup of coffee or a tea or something. It doesn't have to be large crowds. So if you find yourself just starting to feel a little more recluse or not wanting to go out, it may be that you're going through maybe a little downtime. Maybe you're experiencing a little bit of depression. Maybe you're just having some stuff going on in your world and you feel that there isn't people that you can connect to or talk to. So if that is the case, I want you to just be aware of that. Sometimes we fall into a pattern we're not even realizing might be happening. So if any of this resonates with you on that level, then I encourage you to make attempts to reach out to people who you can talk to or some professionals so that that you can help yourself in that regards. And otherwise, do know that it is important that we are social. We don't have to be social for very long, but we want to be able to make eye contact with others, look at each other, smile, have pleasantries, exchanges, and be able to talk openly, authentically, and comfortably with one another. So your brain health tip for today is to acknowledge that and make attempts on that level to be more social with each other. All right, I will see you tomorrow for our final brain health tip.